Good morning, my dear children. Today we are going to study Geography Chapter 4 Air. So, before starting the concept that is air, I would like to say something regarding this. That is, our Earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of air that is called atmosphere. And all living beings on this Earth depend upon atmosphere for their survival. We need that Earth. So, without this blanket protection, we would be baked alive by the heat of the sun during the day and get frozen at the time of night. So, atmosphere is a layer of earth that protects us from the extreme heat as well as from the extreme cold. Composition of the atmosphere. So the composition of atmosphere, first one, it is made up of so many gases. First one we are talking about, that is nitrogen, 78%. Then oxygen, that is 21%, and carbon dioxide, that is 0.03%. Then argon, 0.93%. Then other gases, 0.04%. In that other gases comes that hydrogen, then helium, then the dust particles. These all constitute in the other part, that is 0.04%. But majorly we can say that nitrogen, that is 78%, oxygen 21%, and carbon dioxide 0.03%. So what is the composition of the atmosphere? Now we are going to see the first one, that is nitrogen is 78%. So nitrogen is the most plentiful gas in the air. When we inhale, we take some amount of nitrogen into our lungs and exhale it. So some amount of nitrogen is being taken while we inhale and exhale it. But plants need nitrogen to survive. How they cannot take nitrogen directly from the air? Plants, bacteria that live in the soil, and roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. So plants directly not taking the nitrogen. So what is going? The bacteria or that live in the soil and roots of the plant that take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. Second one, as I told you, oxygen, it is 21%. Humans and animals need oxygen to breathe. Plants produce oxygen, then this maintains the balance. Let's see, oxygen is the second most plentiful gas in the air. Humans and animals take oxygen from the air as they breathe. Green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. In this way, oxygen content in the air remains constant. If we cut trees, then this balance gets disturbed. Carbon dioxide is another important gas, 0.03%. Green plants use carbon dioxide to make their food and release oxygen. Plants are releasing oxygen and animals and human beings releasing carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans or animals seems to be equal to the amount used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. So total number of animals and human beings, whatever they release, that is carbon dioxide, it is equal to the amount of oxygen released by the plants, and that is why the balance is maintained. However, the balance is upset by burning the fuels of fuels and such as coal and oil. They add billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year. As a result, the increased volume of carbon dioxide is affecting the Earth's weather and climate. Next, structure of the atmosphere. Our atmosphere is divided into 5 layers starting from the Earth's surface. These are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere is the most important layer of the atmosphere. Its average height is 13 km, and the second layer, that is 18 km to 50 km, that is called as stratosphere, and from 50 km to 80 km, that is mesosphere, and from 80 km to 400 km, that is thermosphere, and from thermosphere is above exosphere. So totally how many layers are there? There are 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Okay, these are the 5 different layers of the atmosphere. Troposphere. It is the closest to the earth. The average height is 13 km. Air we breathe exists here. Then the elements like rain, fog, hailstorm, etc. occur here. Then the second layer is stratosphere. We have seen from 18 km to 50 km. It extends to a height of 50 km. This layer is almost free from clouds and associated weather phenomenon, making conditions most ideal for flying aeroplanes. And it contains ozone gas, which protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. And stratosphere is also called the ozone layer. Now let's move on to the third one, that is mesosphere. Mesosphere is about 50 km and it extends up to 80 km. Meteoroids burn up in this layer on entering from the space. Next one is thermosphere. Temperature rises very rapidly with increasing height, and it contains ionosphere, which helps in the radio transmission. It extends between 80 to 400 km. This layer helps in radio transmission. In fact, radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer. And the last one is exosphere. It is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere. This layer has very thin air. Light gases like helium and hydrogen float into the space from here. So these are the different layers of the atmosphere. Next, weather and climate. We all know about the weather report. So what is weather? Weather is the conditions of the atmosphere over a short period of time. Weather can change dramatically from day to day. Now, the climate. What is the climate? That is the average weather conditions of a place for a longer period of time. Okay. The rest of the chapter will continue in the next class. Thank you.